Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel The Ideas Can Travel. We are traveling to Australia and we start from the airport of Tamil Nadu, Chennai. The moment we came in, our flight was right on time. We had booked AirAsia and the flight one way costed us around 74,846 rupees. So it was early morning, so we had some breakfast. We started with some idli vada and also some coffee is a must in the early morning. So we rushed to see that the flight was already boarding, and for some strange reason, I did not see much people in the airport. Maybe it's the early morning flight, and the AirAsia flight was already boarding, and so we showed in our boarding passes and hopped on to the Airbus. So a few minutes into the journey, I was talking to a couple who have their own company of travel, who are both in 60, gave me this card. They have the travel startup. It was inspiring for me as well to understand. So coming back to the airlines, kind of had okay boot space and also the amenities. I mean, it's a budget airlines of AirAsia, so should not be expecting something more. And I was just going through with all the magazines which they gave on board. So we had a stopover at Kuala Lumpur, which is Malaysia, for 2-3 hours before we board on to the next flight to Australia, which is landing in Melbourne. So the moment we approached, I could see all the buildings and all the ships, big ships, which the Malaysia is known for. So we landed in the airport. We picked up our coffee at the Costa Coffee, which costed us about 40 Malaysian ringgits for coffee and also dragon fruit mix. So this is what our juice is. So they have free Wi-Fi at KLI, which is Kuala Lumpur International Airport.
Malaysia in the airport, you have to say takeaway, not to go, as what you use in UK or US. Just keep that in mind. And they do charge service charge and also SST, and they round up. So yeah, just
So
go through
boarded
all of
back.
that.
Next flight, eating samosa and spring rolls, which we picked up from the store, and then took a nap. And after that, we were asked to fill the declaration form. So we got rid of all the medicines because we didn't have the prescriptions. I mean, since they were on the top of counter, but still we got rid of them because Australia's immigration is quite stricter. So we were so after getting down, we went to the immigration and we pretty much cleared it with very smooth because we took all the necessary steps which we had to take. Just walking through with all the aisles, seeing all the items, and we finally are in the city of Melbourne, Australia. Feels pretty good, right? And we even saw the posters of Grand Prix, which was when we were visiting, which is in the first week of March, is what the Grand Prix was. And we visited in the first week of February. So these are all the notes which we took while studying about Australia. I searched for free Wi-Fi and connected to one, and you can find the SIM cards of Australia. You can and we took the Mikey card. Sorry. So Mikey cards let you purchase as a card and also the pass. We took this pass which costed us about $6 and plus the top up of 10. And then we wanted to head to the Melbourne city. So we took a sky bus which costed about $80, 80 Australian dollars per person. We took this tickets and we
The falafel roll.
Hi everyone. So we have finally made it to Melbourne, the city where the Australian Open is the home for. And we just crossed the Yarra River, which, if you can see in my background, that's the central Melbourne city, which is also called as the CBD, which is Central Business District. And along with that, there is a river which is sailing, which is called as the Yarra River. And we are heading to the Australian Open courts. You can see this is a bridge. Let's go. You can do two options. One is you can take a tour which covers Australian Open, all the courts of Australian Open like Rod Laver Arena, a lot of other courts, and also MCG and also the Melbourne Park. So the entire ticket would cost you about 7,900 INR. You can book through multiple websites online, but we decided to do a detour and do the tour all by ourselves. I know you won't be getting access to all the insiders and the court access, but you would still be able to cover up some publicly available places, which is still good at zero cost. Let's go. The CBD, which is Central Business District, and
So finally, we were able to witness one of the best things in the world of tennis, which is the Australian Open. So we wanted to make it up for the finals of Australian Open, but due to the other works, we were not able to. But nonetheless, we were able to witness this childhood dream of mine to see the Australian Open in person. So very happy to see this so early. I've always grown up watching multiple pro players playing in this wonderful arena, which is Margaret Court Arena, Kia Arena, and Rod Laver Arena. And we were able to get the access to all the courts, spectator views, and all the other activities around.
We are in the Australian Open arena. So this is that place where you see all the pros playing here, and you see all the spectators, all of them watching the ball go pass by pass to every single player. And it's one of those moments wherein you feel that surreal moment, being on the court, seeing the pros play and getting motivated. And these are the seats where people pay thousands of dollars to just come and see the top players playing. I'm here today in the Kia Arena in Melbourne to this amazing view. Hopefully we'll make it one day to see the match in the future, but for now we are just a week late. But trust me, this wouldn't be the last time. So for now, just enjoy. So if you can see, all the nets has been removed. If you can see, all the Australian Open court paint, after play the court has been dirty. So I think they'll just wash it, clean it, and probably they'll prep it for the next year later. But for now, they have just kept it open for people to just come and visit. So this is all free, guys. You don't have to pay for any of the tours or entry tickets. So if you can see in my background, there's a tour guide with all of the people who signed up for that. You have to pay like about 8,000 Indian rupees, but I'm showing it all the tricks for you guys to just see all of this all for free. I'll even be going to the MCG, to the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. So follow for more content and get some freebies. This is the Australian Open site, and this is the MCG, the ground which you see at the back. So this is the MCG.
So after seeing the Australian Open grounds, we could see few bikes in Australia. This is what they look like, and also we witnessed the Olympic Park, which is right beside Australian Open. So this is where I think 1996 Olympics was held at.
You ನಂಬಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಏವಲ್ಲ.
So if you want to visit both Australian Open and Melbourne Cricket Grounds, get down at the Rod Laver Arena, and this is the train station, and behind me is Australian Open headquarters, and behind me over the side is the Melbourne Cricket Grounds, where we are heading to. Look at this. This is where the Virat Kohli hit the final runs in the World Cup, and this is the stadium where the first cricket match was.
So this is the majestic Melbourne Cricket Club. So I was not a huge fan of taking a tour inside. If you want to really go inside, there's actually a tour which you can take for about, I guess, 45 Australian dollars. They'll show you entire thing like the dressing room, the ground access, and where you can head to. So you can check that out. So after that, we headed to the Queen Victoria Market in Melbourne, which is famous for its Saturday market, and it's pretty much crowded every single day, which has a lot of delicious local grown food, which is veg, non-veg, fruits, vegetables, desserts, and enjoying some good music around. And there's so much to walk here and explore. So we came up with this place where we had chocolate and strawberry, and I have to tell this is one of the best combinations. I had never tried it before, but this have my heart. From there we picked up some groceries for us to cook for the night in the Airbnb, and from there we started exploring all the different kind of fruits which are grown in the Australian market or are imported from multiple other countries. We saw some Indian groceries and picked up some rice to make some vegetable pulao. And also for souvenirs, we checked out the multiple tiny things which they had to showcase in the market. Look at these cute little birds, colorful and playful. After spending some time with these beautiful souls, we thought we'll just go head back to the room and get some rest. So we had to take the tram again. So we were waiting for one. So since we are using the Mikey card here again, so you get access to all the public transports.
So we are waiting at the Queen Victoria Market to get to the southern point where we have to
Like
pick
trains,
up our
buses,
luggage and
trams.
then head to the
You
Airbnb.
can use this at any stop. So we went to the hotel, checked in to the first stay. This is what the room looks like from the balcony.
And the sacks. Look at this cool stuff. The remote acts as a TV monitor. So if you can see,
So this is a room
moving
tour
my
of
remote and
the
it's
apartments or the
moving
Airbnb where
like
we were staying at Lonesdale Street in Central Business District,
some countries.
which costed us about
So
257
it's
Australian
here
dollars.
in US. I mean, in the Australia are like this.
So
Right
mind you,
now
you should
my
have these
power bank is charging,
universal travel
so I'll show you
adapters,
quickly how.
because the pin
So
what
this
the
is a
Australia
universal
uses
travel adapter. You can take
is something like this. So
any of
make
the
sure
travel
you have
adapters.
this before
So, but
you
I'm personally
get to the
using
country.
the G one. So this is for Australia, Thailand, USA, and Japan.
So we cooked ourselves some food
some roasted veggies along with some bhujiyas and also some white rice. So we thought we'll just call it a day after having this dinner, and we were kind of hungry, so we just had some hot chocolate and then slept off. So the next morning, we just had our time just by reading some local newspapers to get the understanding of how the local government is working, and along with that, we had some fresh coffee with this beautiful balcony view. And saw all the exchange rates, which is one Australian dollar was 64 in currency. We checked out all the informations which the Australia is heading to, because Australia is known for having a big finance market, and also all the big mining companies in the world. So from there, we headed to the art gallery. We kept our luggage there. The art gallery called as NGV. We checked out all the paintings and all the beautiful structures, all the different leaders who played their part in the development of the modern Australia. So from there, we headed to a Japanese place, picked up some wagyu, which was veg, and had some good delicious meal before before we start exploring all the other things. We went to the store called as Minuso and checked out all the items which we can purchase for the travel, which was kind of pretty good. From there, we picked up some currencies. We wanted to have a currency of local, which
In
we
dollars
take it as
Australian
souvenir.
dollars,
So we
and this
picked
is
up that.
$5.
Walking into the rainy weather feels so amazing in the central business district of Melbourne. And then we had this Molly tea, which was amazing. I would highly recommend anyone who's traveling to Melbourne to try out this amazing tea from Molly. It was so delicious. I mean, we had a matcha along with some coconut milk, and it was so delicious, I must say. Then from there, we headed to some mall nearby to check out some stores and also some pharmaceuticals which were nearby. Then came back home, cooked us some delicious biryani, and watching the show. We are calling it a day, and this is what our final room looks like. So we had to check out the next early morning after staying here in Melbourne for 2 days. So we booked up a cab in app called as DD. So the cab driver will pick us up in the early morning. So we are finally in the cab, and we were dropped by Mr. Asan Bhai, who was from Pakistan, and he was such a gem of a person. Who, I mean, we shared a lot of informations. We spoke about how he came to Australia with all the struggles and how hard he has worked out. And so we finally came to Avalon Airport, which is kind of like a bit far, but you would get a lot of cheap flights from this airport to fly to. We checked in our baggage. I mean, the self check-in kiosk. This is the first time I was using a self check-in kiosk where we had to drop off our own bags and get the receipt for that. Earlier we had self check-in, but since still there was a few of the people involved, so we witnessed this for the very first time. We got out to the Jetstar Airlines, which was pretty okay, I would say, since this was commercial airlines of a feasible price. From there, we headed to a beautiful next city called as Sydney. So the entire Australia is divided mainly into six regions, which is Western Australia, which has Perth as its capital, Northern Australia, which has Darwin, Southern Australia, which has Adelaide as capital, Queensland, which has Brisbane as capital, New South Wales, which is where we are at, with Sydney as capital with 54 lakh people, and Victoria region, which has Melbourne as capital. So from there, we headed to our first hotel, looking at this beautiful, amazing view of the houses, which reminded us, the trees and everything reminded us of a bit of India, but it was a good time. And from there, we headed to a Indian store to pick us up some for thepla for the lunch, and also other groceries which we needed to prepare. We also met the guy from Hyderabad who greeted us at the store. And here in Sydney, we had to buy Opal cards where we can use it to tap on to the buses, ferries, wharfs, or anything. But you can also use your local or any of your international debit or credit cards. Both do work wonderfully, but they do charge additionally. So I would recommend taking a Opal card, which would be of better price. So our first Airbnb was in Burwood, which costed us about 139 Australian dollars. From there, we were heading to our friends' places. The friends' names are Kiran and Harshini. So we headed to their place to stay with them and meet them before we plan our next itinerary. So the trains are very convenient and right on time, and you will have no problems accessing the trains. When we got out at the Parramatta stations, we found that the Asian Football Championship was being held in the city of Sydney, and we were able to see the icon of that and meet the wonderful team behind that who were promoting. We also saw these financial sectors, ANZ banks, which is Australia and New Zealand banks. From there, we rest for some time and then we headed to the central business district in Sydney, beautiful, witnessing this beautiful cruise which was docked at the city center. And from there, we were able to witness all the beautiful things which the Sydney is known for, which is the Opera House and the Sydney Bridge. And this is what the maps of the central business district look like. Australians mainly do have fish and chips as their staple food most of the times. And this is a view of the beautiful Sydney Harbour Bridge, which I always wanted to see. I had always seen in the magazines or books or in the photos, but witnessing something like this is just amazing. This feels how proud you feel about yourself just traveling and witnessing all these places in person, and it's just amazing. So comment down below what you guys felt when you saw all these kind of beautiful places all by yourself. So from there we picked up some beautiful pictures because we always wanted to have kind of souvenir of these pictures. So we took multiple pictures from multiple angles to make ourselves believe that we are finally here witnessing Opera House, which is quite famous in Australia. So this is what the architecture looks like. It has a ceramic structure and which is like a tile like, but if you see from distance you wouldn't notice this minute architecture. So these are all the interiors of the opera house. You can take the tour of this as well, which is basically like a convention center where all the different activities, concerts are being held day in day out. So this entire place is called a circular quay, where you will find all the opera house, the Sydney Harbour, and all the business district. So this is entirely free of cost. So we try and do all the work so that you don't have to spend in your valuable time. So we try and show you all the places which are worth seeing, which are at free of cost. So we picked up from some fries, but be aware of all these cute little creatures which would wander around you if you have some food in hand. So after spending some time watching this beautiful view with some fries,
And then we visited one of the famous supermarkets in Australia, which is Woolworth. Checked out Tim Tams, which are delicious and also famous in Australia, and also the A2 milk, which I had always heard of. So we picked up this to taste, and it was so delicious. Must say that. And we also can explore other supermarkets, which is Coles, Aldi, and IGA, which would be doing it in the next couple of days. We explored all the other items like fruits, veggies, flowers, and all the different retail shops. So the tin tams and everything were pretty good. And from there, we thought we'll just head to some eateries, and we could find some of the place nearby which are walkable, and also we can take the trams. We took the tram, and then we went for some shopping place which was Decathlon, to check out all the sports items which Australia had to offer. And we could find all the Australian Open merchandise which were pretty nice, but we did not take any. So just for the information, Australia is the sixth largest country by land, and India is the seventh largest. Population of Australia is just 2.7 crores, same as that of Delhi. From there, we headed to the Uncle Tetsu, which is known for one of the best crepes in the Australia, which is Japanese crepe item, and it was so delicious to just witness how they make that, and it was so mouth watering. So this place is called as Uncle Tetsu, which is in the Regent Mall of the CBD in the Sydney. It was called as the crepe roll, and it's so delicious. It just melts in the mouth, and you can just have the contents in the spoon and also have a bite. And there we explored all the cute little items which are so tempting to buy, but we don't spend on unnecessary items, I must say. So we just thought we'll just show it to the audience and just explore all the different kind of things which market has to offer. And we also tried the tiramisu, but it was kind of okay because we had best tiramisus in multiple places, like in Chicago, where the Starbucks headquarters is there. So from there we headed to the Harbour Bridge, which is at the Darling Park, to witness the evening with calm, cool breeze, and also seeing this wonderful harbor. And saw a couple of hostels while just walking towards our dinner place, which is Raymond Zundo. We loved this place so much that
It offers the veg options. We also tried the ramen, which is quite nice, spicy, and we both loved it to the core that we had 2 consecutive days of ramen here at the Ramen Zundo in the downtown. So from there, we headed to back our friend's place, who is Kiran and Harshini, and they made us beautiful food for the dinner, which is soya pulav and aulaki and them. And the next day, we had our breakfast at this wonderful place. It was so delicious. The bread toast with broccolis and cheese, must if you want to try like a sandwich in the early morning. So we just love that. We took a train from Parramatta, and then we wanted to head to a famous place called as Blue Mountains. From there,
What's up, Soundarya?
I don't know why I look.
so we came to this
What's
Blue
up?
Mountains. So um, just stopping by at the Coles to see uh, if we can get something. We got a jacket from there, and this is a Carrington hotel from where we are gonna get the buses to the Blue Mountains. So we just explored that and waited for the bus. I mean, since we had a free, I mean, not a free pass, but the Opal card, which we had loaded up with money, so we can use that to um, hop on and hop off to any kind of buses. Just tap in the moment you enter the bus and tap out while you were exiting. So we used that. It was pretty nice, and it was a part of the Lunar Year celebration. So we uh, could see all of that. So this is the Blue Mountain where the entrance was decorated with, and the weather was so nice with the mist inside. And they also have all the cable cars, which cost about 80 or 90 Australian dollars to take all of these rides. But we thought it was not much of a worth because the weather was not clear. We were not able to see the Blue Mountain, so taking this would be of no further value. So we just explored. So from there, we took the bus and found an Indian restaurant. So we had some meal there and took the train back to the friend's place. So found out this wonderful flag of Australia, and we wanted to pick up some beautiful food for them so that it'd be delicious. So we picked up desserts from Dokyu at the Parramatta stations, which is pretty nice, and we all of us enjoyed talking to each other, sharing about our experiences from US work point of view and also their work here in Australia. And the next morning we wanted to head to the Tarongo Zoo. So we took the WAF this time from the CBD, and the WAF is also part of this Mikey card, which you can use anywhere. And taking a ferry was an experience in itself. It was such a cool ride, and I know we were kind of excited. You have to take this ferry from the Circular Quay and go to the Taronga Zoo. You can also take a bus, but I would highly recommend taking WAF. You can also witness this beautiful scenery from the Sydney Harbour to the Opera House, and also by experiencing the cool breeze which you would get from taking this wonderful WAF rather taking roadways. So Australia was formed in the year 1901. Earlier, it was a British colony. In the British India, Indians were allowed to travel to any part of the world where the British were ruling, subject to the labour's demand. In the year 1920 was the year when the India passports were introduced after the World War One. In 1800s, where many laborers from India traveled to different countries like Australia, Mauritius, Guyana in search of jobs like sugar plantation, etc. for the contract of 5 to 10 years. The travel was completely paid. So we finally entered the Taronga Zoo. The ticket costed us about $60 per person, and if you want a nap to experience all the beautiful things or the creatures, you can do that as well. So we experience all the different kind of animals here in the Taronga Zoo. To be precise, the price was about 100 Australian dollars. We saw koala, we saw all the giant chimpanzees, kangaroos, penguins, lions, and so many creatures which you would see in the further video. I don't want to talk anything in between. I just want you guys to enjoy these beautiful animals. And then we had a wonderful thing to do next. We had a cricket match to witness between India versus Australia Women's T20 Cup here in Sydney Cricket Grounds, which is quite famous. So before that, we had to stop by at Raymond's Window and have the dinner. So we went to this famous Bondi Beach where the shooting took place just a month before of we landing there. So we witnessed the Bondi Beach as well, which is quite near to the Sydney Cricket Ground. This is where the place where all the shooting of the Jew at the time of Jew festival. So after spending time in the evening, just walking around, enjoying this cool breeze, witnessing these blue waters. There were a lot of people who were surfing, playing in the water with the boat rides, or just walking or running around the beaches. It made the evening so special. And since we had the free passes to hop onto the buses since we were attending the cricket match, and we were kind of so excited to see the Sydney cricket ground in itself because we've always seen up growing cricket. I'm not that of a fan, but um, being in Sydney and witnessing a cricket match would be of the best thing. So this is the giant Sydney cricket ground. So we saw the ground for the very first time. It's so nice, so green, and the staff were friendly, but we had all the security checkup. And after that, the Indian team and the Australian team were just practicing over there. And these are restrooms which I checked out, and the crowd was crazy. There was some music, some firecrackers. We also witnessed the ground up very close. People were taking pictures with the family members, and we also witnessed the New Zealand and the Australian dance with the tradition at the opening ceremony. And we had just a couple of minutes before the match began. So this is the Harmanpreet, the captain of women's Indian team, and this is what I was talking about, the dance before the opening ceremony. And these are the captains and the coin toss. India won the toss, and they elected to bowl first, maybe. And we were ready for the national anthem, and it's truly special. If you have to see the national anthem of the countries, you have to witness at the grounds. It's so nice. And with all the chill, we were waiting for the first ball to be bowled with some snacks here, some fries, some sauces, and also sofritas, and some firecrackers in between when there were innings breaks or fours or sixes. And the Indian team were batting in the second innings. We saw all the major players of both India and Australian team: Harmanpreet Kaur, Smriti Mandana, and many more. But it started raining in between after like 6 to 10 overs in the first innings itself, so we had to go back. So the cost breakdown is for two people, 6 days and 7 nights. It's per person. It's gonna be 1,924,000. So I'll break down with the visa. It's 23,979. Flights 74,846. Insurance 570. Hotels 25,097. Food 39,602. Shopping 1,238. Caps and accessories 36,516. So the total cost would be for two people 2 lakh 1,848 Indian currency. So that's gonna be per person 1 lakh 924. So thank you so much, guys, for checking out this vlog as well. And I'll see you with the next one and next episode. Until then, keep watching.